Failure. It's a word that strikes fear into the hearts of many. We avoid it, dread it, and sometimes let the fear of it stop us from even trying. But what if I told you that failure is not your enemy? What if failure is, in fact, one of the most valuable teachers in life? History is full of stories about people who failed repeatedly before they succeeded. Thomas Edison, who famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Or J.K. Rowling, who faced rejection after rejection before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. These stories aren't just anecdotes, they're proof that failure, when approached with the right mindset, can be the catalyst for extraordinary growth. In this video, we'll explore why failure is the best teacher and how you can harness its lessons to achieve greater success in life. 1. Failure exposes your weaknesses. Let's start with the hard truth. Failure shines a light on your shortcomings. It reveals what isn't working, where your skills are lacking, and where your assumptions are flawed. And while this can feel uncomfortable, it's also a gift. Think of failure as a mirror. It doesn't lie. It reflects back exactly what needs improvement. For instance, if you fail a test, it's a sign that you need to study more or change your approach. If a business venture fails, it's an opportunity to reevaluate your strategy. Without failure, you might never notice the blind spots holding you back. As the Stoics would say, focus on what you can control: your actions, your preparation, and your ability to learn. Failure is feedback, not the final word. 2. Failure builds resilience. Resilience is one of the most important qualities for success in life. But how do you build it? The answer is simple: through failure. Every time you fail and pick yourself back up, you're strengthening your resilience. You're teaching yourself that setbacks are temporary, that you're capable of overcoming challenges, and that perseverance pays off. Think about it. The most inspiring success stories aren't the ones where everything went smoothly. They're the stories of people who faced enormous obstacles and refused to give up. Failure is what gives those stories their power. So, the next time you fail, remind yourself, this is part of the process. This is how resilience is built. 3. Failure forces you to innovate. When everything is going well, there's little incentive to change or improve. But failure forces you to think differently. It pushes you to question your assumptions, experiment with new ideas, and find creative solutions to problems. Some of the greatest inventions and breakthroughs in history were born out of failure. The Post-it note, for example, was the result of a failed attempt to create a super strong adhesive. Instead of giving up, the inventor saw an opportunity to create something entirely new. Failure doesn't just close doors, it opens new ones. It's up to you to see the possibilities and act on them. Failure teaches humility and patience. Success can sometimes lead to overconfidence, making us believe we're invincible. Failure, on the other hand, is a humbling experience. It reminds us that we're human, that we don't have all the answers, and that mastery takes time. Patience is another lesson failure teaches. In today's world of instant gratification, it's easy to expect quick results. But true success often requires years of effort, countless setbacks, and the willingness to keep going despite the odds. By embracing failure, you develop the humility and patience needed for long-term success. 5. Failure gives you perspective. When you fail, it's easy to feel like the world is ending. But in reality, failure is just one moment in your life, a single chapter in a much larger story. Failure helps you zoom out and see the bigger picture. It teaches you that setbacks are temporary, that success is a journey, not a destination, and that every failure is a stepping stone to something greater. The Stoics often remind us to ask, what's the worst that can happen? By putting failure in perspective, we realize it's not as catastrophic as it seems. In fact, it's often a necessary part of growth. 6. Failure is a choice to learn. Finally, the most important thing to understand about failure is that it's not inherently good or bad. What matters is how you respond to it. You can choose to see failure as a roadblock, or you can see it as a stepping stone. You can let it discourage you, or you can let it drive you. You can dwell on the pain, or you can focus on the lessons. Every failure contains a seed of opportunity. It's up to you to plant it, nurture it, and let it grow into success. So, the next time you fail, don't despair. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow? Remember, failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of success.